Good evening, students. We are learning 10th standard social civics unit number 5, India's international relations. That means our relationship with our neighboring countries and other countries. In previous class, we have learned India with the neighboring countries and what is the policies with our neighboring countries and the members of SAARC and India relations with Afghanistan, Bhutan, etc. we have learned. Today we are going to see about India relation with China. These two nations, they are the world populated countries. Not only that, ancient civilization that was fluorized in two nations, Chinese civilization and in India, Indus Valley civilization. In terms of geographic and demographic dimension, we have skilled manpower and civilizational depth. China is the only country which is capable to compare with the India. China, being the manufacturing hub of the world, is strategically very important to India. India and China share similarity of view on many fronts like World Trade Organization, international climate change talks, and reforms of the World Bank. Shanghai Cooperation Organization, which was China's initiative, it granted the observer status to India. Like that, we gave the observer status to China in SAARC. Both the sides have established more dialogue mechanism covering diverse sectors. Bilateral trade, that is means the trade between two nations, India and China. So we follow bilateral trade has registered enormous growth. India and China have signed an educational exchange program. Under this agreement, every year we providing scholarship to 25 students by both the side in recognized institution of higher learning in each countries. McMogan line is an important GK question and one word also. This is a boundary line between India, China and east of Bhutan. It was determined in the year 1914 at a meeting of representatives of British India. That means India before got freedom, it was called as British India, Tibet and China. So this meeting was attended by the representatives of British India, Tibet and China. The Secretary of State for India in British Cabinet, Arthur Henry McMogan, he attended the conference. So this line was called as McMogan line. So we have developed a well and deep relationship with China. Now we are going to see about our relationship with Maldives. Maldives, it is located in the south of Lakshadweep in the Indian Ocean. The relationship with Maldives is an important for India, given its strategic location and geographical proximity. India and Maldives share ethnic, linguistic, cultural, religious, and commercial link steeped in antiquity and enjoy cordial and multi-dimensional relations. Trade and tourism are being developed between these two nations. Both the countries have agreed to strengthen cooperation to enhance the maritime security in the Indian Ocean, because in south we have Indian Ocean, in the Indian Ocean Maldives also located there. So both the countries, they established a very good maritime security through coordinated patrolling and aerial surveillance and exchange of information. Now we will go for our relation with Myanmar. Myanmar, so old name is Burma. India's second largest border is shared with Myanmar. First largest border is shared with Bangladesh. Second largest border with Myanmar. Its old name Burma. Till 1918 it was called as Burma. Four northeastern Indian states like Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur and Mizoram, they also share their borders with Myanmar. You underline this one. India, northeastern states, four states, they share their boundary line with Myanmar. Myanmar is India's gateway to Southeast Asia. So, if you wanted to enter, India wanted to enter Southeast Asia, Myanmar is the gate. India is building the Kaladan multi-modal transit transport. It's a road, river, port, cargo transport project to link Kolkata to Sitwe in Myanmar. It's a project aiming to connect Kolkata with Ho Chi Minh City on the South Sea. For the formation of an economic zone, we'll have a road pass through Myanmar, Cambodia, and Vietnam. And work on the first phase connecting Guwahati with Mandela is currently underway. So now the project is going on. Myanmar is an important partner in our energy needs for petroleum and natural gas. Some of the Indian companies like Easer, GAIL and ONGC Videsh Limited have invested in Myanmar's energy sector. You see this line? It's a sea route starting from Kolkata to Myanmar. Now we will see India relation with Nepal. Nepal is a natural buffer between India and China. It is located between India and China. The world Himalayas mountain and the world highest peak also in Nepal. It is a small landlocked country. It has no seas. Nepal depends on India for economic support and transit facilities. India shares borders in five Indian states like Sikkim, West Bengal, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, and Uttarakhand with Nepal. People residing in the border district on both sides share deeper cultural bond. Indian firms are the biggest investors in Nepal. India provides substantial financial help and technical development help with the focus on the infrastructures, irrigation, health, energy project and community development to Nepal. India built 204 kilometer long Mahindra Raj Marg. It's a path, it's a road to link Godment and India. Godment is the capital of Nepal. Nepal is endowed with fast flowing rivers and its terrain is ideal for hydroelectric power generation. Here, five rivers are flowing in Nepal. So, fast flowing river. So, with the help of the river, they are producing hydel power. India has taken up the work of 5,600 megawatt Panjeshwar project, which remained stalled for 18 years after agreement. Nepali and Indian people visit each other's countries for religious pilgrimage. Here we are going Pasupati and Janakpur and traditional centers in Nepal, whereas Varanasi in India and four dams, that is in Badrinath, Puri, Dwaraka and Rameswaram in India. So Nepali people, they visit India for pilgrimage purpose and important pilgrimage destination in India. The bond of friendship further increased when India included Nepalese language in the eighth schedule of the constitution. So we added Nepali language in our constitution. Eighth schedule. A joint hydropower project is being built on the Sada River. This power plant helped both India and Nepal with respect to electricity production and irrigation facilities. From the environmental perspective, there are a number of tiger reserves along Indo-Nepal border. So we established so many tiger reserves. Not only that, we developed many electricity production and irrigation project with the two countries along Indo-Nepal border. The government of India and Nepal have signed three sister city agreement for twinning of Gatman to Varanasi, Lumbini to Bodh Gaya, and Janakpur to Ayodhya. This we call sister city agreement. You see, Nepal is a landlocked country. It's surrounded by five Indian states: Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Sikkim, and West Bengal. Now we will see the India relation with the Pakistan. Since the bifurcations of territory which demarcated India and Pakistan in 1947, The two nations have had strained relation due to disagreement over a number of key issues. So 1947, India was divided into two countries, India and Pakistan. From that day onwards, both the countries have hostility over so many issues, mainly terrorism. These two nations, they are having problem over only one cities, that is a Kashmir. Terrorism remains our core concern in the relationship with Pakistan. Pakistan has been antagonistic when maintaining relations with India, but India has made extreme effort to improve and stabilize relations with Pakistan. The cross border firing between India and Pakistan and the terrorist attack combined have taken its toll on the Kashmiris, who have suffered poor living standards and an erosion of human rights. Here, the people they are living in the poor standard and the human rights are eroded by the local government. Kashmir is the bone of contention between India and Pakistan, which has brought the two countries into an open clash many times. Cross border terrorism is a major irritant. India tried to bring a positive change in the relationship of the two countries through bilateral agreements such as Simla Agreement and Lahore Declaration. So, with these two agreements, we try to bring a close relationship with Pakistan. India and Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is situated in the south of India. The box states separate India and Sri Lanka. India has cultural, historical, and religious ties with Sri Lanka. Separated by the narrow expanse of the box strait, India and Sri Lanka have shared excellent trade relations committing to each other in both bilateral free trade agreement as well as developing interaction through SAARC. The relationship between India and Sri Lanka can generally be termed as friendly, except for the brief spell in with the Tamil ethnic problem. So we have problem with Sri Lanka only in Tamil ethnic only. Tamil caste is a shadow on the relations between the two countries. Beyond that, we are maintaining the friendly relations with Sri Lanka. India and Sri Lanka is conveniently close to each other. India is among the top investors in Sri Lanka, and its investments are in diverse areas including petroleum retail, IT, real estate, telecommunication and tourism. In this area, we have invested a lot in Sri Lanka. On the other hand, the Sri Lankan investments in India include Brantex, government city in Visakhapatnam. Sri Lanka included money in Brantex, Mars Holdings, John Keels, Hales, apart from the other investment in the freight servicing and the logistics sector. India offers scholarship slot annually to deserving Sri Lankan students. Sri Lanka is also a partner in Nalanda University project of India. In ancient times, during the period of Ashoka, he sent his son and daughter, his son named Mahinda and his daughter named Sangamitra to Ceylon, to Sri Lanka, for the propagation of Buddhism. So when Ashoka became Buddhist, he sent his son and daughter to Sri Lanka to spread Buddhism. Chola king Rajaraja I and Rajendra I, they conquered the northern part of Ceylon. So after this, we are maintaining a good relations with Sri Lanka. Lok is a line of control. The ceasefire line determined in 1949 was called Lok after 1972. This is a boundary that came to be agreed between India and Pakistan under the Simla Agreement of 1972. So under Simla Agreement 1972, the Lok was drawn, the boundary line was drawn between India and Pakistan. It was called a Red Cliff Line at the time of partition in 1947. So 1947 that was called as Red Cliff because Red Cliff was the chairman of the border commission. This is now called Lok, that is line of control. Students, up to this we conclude our lesson. The remaining portions will be seen in the next class. Today I will give some home assignment. You copy in your classwork note and study well. Thank you.